Hello everyone, Razorblade Mango here, and it's time for the second episode of Why I'm Excited For... ... And today we're going to be switching gears from talking about an indie title that I think deserves a lot more attention to a game that a lot of people know about, and it's among the most highly anticipated games of this year, Resident Evil 4 Remake. Resident Evil 4 Remake is a remake, surprise surprise, of the beloved 2005 game Resident Evil 4, which is considered among many to not only be the best Resident Evil game ever made, but one of the greatest games ever made, period. It's the latest game in a series of Resident Evil remakes Capcom has been doing since 2019's RE2 remake, and it was only a matter of time before they reached this one. For the last few years, it was rumored to be in development, but it wasn't officially announced until last June during one of PlayStation's State of Plays. The reveal went over pretty well with a lot of people, myself included, and it has shot up to being among the most anticipated games of this year, not only for me, but for a lot of people. I share the sentiment that RE4 is the best game in the series, and I have a lot of fond memories playing it throughout my life. Even to this very day, I still think the gameplay holds up extraordinarily well, and its confident campiness is still damn endearing. I fucking love OG RE4. So, when I first heard the whispers of the inevitable remake, I was very apprehensive about it. More specifically, my gut reaction was, I don't want this. RE2 and RE3 being remade made sense to me, but RE4? A game that has aged like fine wine? No. This just seemed like a cash grab to me. But now having seen what this remake has to offer, I'm mostly very positive about it, and some of my initial concerns have been mostly alleviated. One of the big concerns I had was that it would ditch a lot of the goofiness in favor of a much more grim, dark, serious, ultra-violent horror tone. To me, one of the main reasons RE4 is so memorable is the confident campiness I mentioned earlier. From Leon's so bad they're funny quips, to the villains practically bathing in their own theatrical evil, to the merchant's wonderful pirate-like accent.
Got something that might interest you.
RE4's campiness is so sincere and practically straight-faced that it's endearing. There are no winks at the camera, no undercutting its own atmosphere with irreverence. RE4 is all in on its own silliness, and the remake seems that way as well. I've avoided watching most of the gameplay that's out there, but the footage I saw of the iconic opening village set piece was very reassuring. Leon shooting a lantern to trigger lighting a cow on fire so that it runs into a group of ganado while punctuating that moment with a stupid one-liner is very RE4. But, as this is an actual remake, a la Final Fantasy VII Remake, there are quite a few changes, and I don't mind the ones I've seen so far. From what I've seen, it looks like they're trying to hit that sweet spot between staying faithful to the spirit of the original game, while expanding and adding things of their own. Leon is as acrobatic as ever, but this time he can move while shooting, and his knife has been given a few more gameplay mechanics. The enemy designs look pretty damn faithful, but their placement and animations have been switched up. The story seems to hit most of the same beats, but there's obviously been a lot of stuff added, and some of those original story beats are fleshed out. The cool thing about this remake is that even if it sucks, which I highly doubt, the original game is still widely available. This isn't a case like the upcoming Silent Hill 2 remake, where Silent Hill fans are kinda fucked if that ends up sucking. As far as any red flags, this is going to be a rare occasion where I don't really see anything that constitutes a red flag or a general concern. I'm not going to say something crazy like Capcom can do no wrong, but out of all the big publishers out there, They're one of the extremely few that has earned quite a bit of goodwill from me. It's not a red flag per se, but I do have one complaint about the footage so far, and that's, I think the voice acting is a step down compared to the original. I'm still not crazy about Leon's latest voice actor, and the new voices for characters like Luis, Sadler, and especially Salazar aren't hitting the mark for me. Salazar's in particular bothers me because he's one of my favorite characters. It seems like the actor is trying to emulate the original, kind of, but the voice is missing that theatrical flair I adore. It's a relatively minor concern in the grand scheme of things, but it's one I can't help but have as a big fan of the original. Resident Evil 4 Remake arrives March 24th for PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, and PC for $59.99 or your regional equivalent. I'm genuinely surprised it isn't $70 because it looks high quality enough to warrant that asking price. And this is a case where I actually don't mind paying more for the deluxe edition, just to reward them with that extra $10. I just think the game looks that good and promising, and I'm sure my confidence will be rewarded. We thankfully only have to wait a few weeks until it's in our hands, and I'm really looking forward to that day. As a wise merchant once said,
I'll buy it at a high price.